Hello and welcome back to another episode of What SHU Doing. I am Aaron Burrell alongside my illustrious co-host, Paul Guarino.
We're back. What's up?
We have a very special guest with us, the one, the only, Lauryn McNair. Lauryn, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're good. We're good. Glad to have you on the show. Taking some time out of your busy ESPN life. I know they keep you all busy up in Bristol.
Yeah.
So?
Sure. Yeah, let's take you back a little bit. So why did you pick Sacred Heart?
I picked Sacred Heart. I just liked the facilities here when I first came here in 2016 for undergrad. I just saw so much opportunity here, and it was close to home. I'm from Connecticut, and I just thought it'd be a great place for what I wanted to do.
So you knew from early media was the field
I actually didn't. I actually came here for the business school.
Really?
And then it just happened to work out on my favorite that they also had an amazing communication school as well.
Gotcha.
And so, yeah.
So what made you want to make that change from business to media?
What made me want to make the change was that I wanted to have a more fun career, something I could actually see myself doing for 30 plus years.
Yeah.
I'd not want to sit at a desk, so I would just get too bored. And so I grew up with my dad and my sister. My dad loves basketball. He played basketball my entire life. He still tries to play. And my sister played basketball all throughout college and everything. And then I just always loved watching the game. I never really played seriously myself, but I just loved the game. And there's nothing like being at a sporting event. It's the feeling you get. And I was like, could I actually do this? Because I didn't know anybody that actually did it. And then I talked to people here at Sacred Heart about breaking into the field. And so then I just switched majors. And then I started off at an internship that they had here called CT Sports Now. It's been a live TV show that was straight out of Sacred Heart, which you literally do not see at any other university. I don't know any other university that had a live TV show that went on actual TV, actual Fox, out of a college control room. And that's where I learned all my basics. I gained so many connections. I learned all of my basic skills here. And then through that experience, I did some live events with the graduate program here at Sacred Heart because CT Sports Now was also ran by graduate students. And then through that, I became a graduate assistant here, and I did 2 more years where I got even more experience, and that's how I got into directing. It was through here at Sacred Heart. I directed a whole bunch of games my second year, directed studio shows where it was the Sports Buzz show, whether it was interview shows for athletics, whether it was lacrosse, hockey, volleyball, just a plethora of things that really helped me in my resume just to gain that experience coming straight out of college.
Gotcha. I'm going back in my memory here, so correct me if I'm wrong, but you were a part of Sacred Heart's first ever all-female basketball broadcast?
Yes, I was.
You were? Talk to us about that. What was that like? What game was it and how was that?
So it was a women's basketball game. I actually got to direct that game, so that was an amazing experience. With these amazing women. Some women had never done the position before, but they wanted to be a part of it so bad. They're yeah, I will do anything to be a part of this broadcast. Yeah. So that was just an amazing experience. Women were learning. Some women were already vets in what they were doing. So it was just all of us. It was the definition of teamwork makes the dream work. We cranked out an amazing broadcast. And I'm so thankful for all of the women that did that broadcast with me, and that we just all truly worked together to make that happen. And now it's the 3rd year in a row. And I didn't direct the 2nd year, but I directed it the 3rd year as well. We just did it 2 months ago.
Gotcha. How was growth from year 1 to 3?
It was good. It was good. I was a little rusty, just ever so slightly, because I hadn't done a full game in a while.
Yeah.
But it was just I was more sharp, more. I knew what to look for before, but it was just having that real world experience of working at ESPN that I was kind of translating to the girls that I worked with when I did it this past year.
Gotcha.
That's dope too, because I feel I don't think they were the first ones, but I'm just going to use the pioneers, but I seen it recently where I think it was the Celtics just did it a week ago.
I saw it on LinkedIn.
That's cool that Sacred Heart kind of, I'm not going to say they started, but it was before other people started doing it. It was now the people are doing it a lot.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your first job out of college.
So my first job out of college, technically I was freelancing for Yale, but my first real job was ESPN, the job that I'm currently doing right now, because I graduated a year and a half ago from the graduate program.
Yeah, for sure. Take us through a day in the life at ESPN.
Okay, day in a life. So for my role specifically, an associate director, it's different from anybody else's role. It is extremely involved, it's extremely hands-on, and you take on a lot of responsibility. So currently I'm on the 7 a.m. Sports Center, so I get up at 2 a.m.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah. People are like, oh my God, I want to work in sports. I was like, do you? So I get up at 2 a.m.
So what time do you go to bed?
Like, now? Yeah, like 7 o'clock, not gonna lie. So I wake up around 2 and then to get into work for 3:30. Then I come in and we have like certain websites that you find your crew list at. I'll make my list of like crew lists, any sales obligations that we have for that day. We have things called like media rooms, which is basically where we have like our editors in for that day. I put that information in. Do we have any re-airs for that day? What the talent is for that day? Do we have any live shots or in-studio guests? We do like a live pre-tease in the morning at 6:55, but it's always a specific time code. Like sometimes it'll be 6:54:59, it's 6:55:36. Like I figure out, like I ask like person who's in master control, like what exact time is it for that day? And like any other useful information, like are we sponsored? Do we have any other features outside of things? Like are we going from an event? Are we leading into an event? Like today we led into the Masters. And so we had one control room that was my sports center. We had another control room that was actually doing the Masters. So we're going back and forth, going live from my control room to the Masters control room, and then we completely led into the Masters this morning. So like things like that happen all the time because ESPN does so many events. So it's just knowing, like, do I have a 1 hour show today, 2 hour show? Today I had a 3 hour show. Knowing that as well.
Gotcha.
So you're sending out like all of that information, and then you're also sending out like pre-prod information. If you've seen like a lot of Sports Center clips, we do a lot of like virtual like in bumps, and like ADs are the ones that create those. And so I'm like going in a rundown, like seeing like where the producer would want one of those, and then you come with the idea all on your own. Like, what monitor do you want it in? Am I requesting a custom graphic? We have 2 graphic designers that work on the show that create custom graphics all throughout the morning, all throughout the day. For every single show, they have graphic designers. So. Like, oh, do I want to do a custom here? Do I want to do virtual logos? Do I want to do a virtual player? Like, you're going on Getty searching for players. Like, it's like, just like, what type of lighting do I want here? What type of treatment? Do I want Warriors treatment? Do I want Jets? Like, just like knowing what's going on. Like, you're looking at your score, like the score of the game. Like, oh, they won by like 30. So I'm definitely talking about this. I'm definitely talking about this team. So you compile like a list of things that you're doing. And then you like talk to your crew. You get them all on the same page. Like how I said here. Before, it's like all about like teamwork, and then but it's also all about leadership as well. So I'm talking to my crew, I'm telling them what they're doing, the order we're doing it in, what I want from them, things like that. And they're like, yeah, cool, gotcha. I give them all the information that they need so that they can go ahead and prepare, like the graphics people, they can prepare and this and that and lighting and all that other stuff. And then you're also talking with the director, like, hey, is there something specific that you would want for this? Or were you planning on doing something different? Because it depends. Like, you know, you have to be on the same page with your director as well.
Right.
And then, so I do, like, all my pre-prod, and then live in the show, you're counting. But at ESPN, there is no down clock. You have to physically hit a clock that counts up, but you have to count down.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
So when your clock hits 5 and it's a 20-second VO, you have to tell your director 15. When it hits 10, you're telling them 10. When it hits 15, you're like 5, 4, and you're giving them like the last shot. So we have things called cut sheets. And it tells you what the last shot of the clip is and how much pad you have. So you're telling the director all of that in the middle of counting in between, like 6, one more change, 5 last shot, 4, 3, 2, and you're like, okay, you're about to hit the freeze. Like you gotta, because sometimes you have pads, sometimes you don't.
Yes.
So you're doing a whole bunch of that. You're animating graphics on and off. Like if we're going into SOTs, like you're the one that's putting in the graphics. Like the font names, you're the one putting in, like, for lead VOs, you're putting in bars for lead VOs. You're giving, like, traffic to remote talent. You're checking them in. You're making sure if they have an audio issue, you have to be the one to help fix it. Be like, hey, you're talking to the audio person, hey, we have an issue with this person. Like, we need this, we get this fixed. Like I said, you have a lot of response. All this is all at once.
Yeah.
Like, all throughout, like, all, like, during a show. Like, while, like, you could be, like, in the middle of counting and somebody's talking to you in your ear. And you have to be able to get back to them, like, in, like, a second. A producer could be asking you a question. Like, hey, can I talk to this person? Are they good to go? Because they might be from on-site. Or they could be on a Zoom. Like, we do stuff from Zoom, FaceTime, TVU apps. So it's just a plethora of things that I do in my day. It's not even all of it.
Yeah.
Of just making sure, like, the broadcast goes how it's supposed to go. Like, you have a huge responsibility in the control room. You're giving cues to the TD, to graphics people, to producers, to talent, to directors on when to do things.
That was the best day in the life I ever heard about.
Yeah, so by the time you're done, you're like, "Ooh, like I'm ready to go home."
So does your day go by fast?
Yeah. Pretty much, because you're pretty much always busy.
Yeah, doing something.
Yeah.
So
It depends on the show.
How many shows do you do per day? Or is it
Just one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you do
enough.
yeah, you do so much that they're like, you can go home. Like,
is it the all day Sports Center, or is it just like the one show? You know, like they do it all. Well, do they repeat it?
So how it works is that, okay, so how we did it today. So let's say you're watching on a weekend, right? And they have like Sports Center from like 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So they have an AD and like a whole crew that does from 7 to 10. And they'll come in at 3:30 and they'll do from 7 to 10. Then they'll have some people in another control room, or sometimes you hot swap in the last block. And you take and you pick up from 10 to 1.
Okay.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Hot swap is crazy.
Yeah, hot swap is crazy.
Yeah.
It just depends how many events are going on, how many control rooms you have available. Because Sports Center, you have to be in a specific control room.
Gotcha.
Other shows different, but Sports Center is our flagship show. We do 4 to 5 iterations of Sports Center a day. You do the SEAM, the 7 a.m., which is what I do. Then you have the 2 p.m. Then you have the 6 p.m. And then you have like the 11 p.m. Then you have like 12:30 SVP.
Yeah.
So that's every single day, no matter what, without fail, you will have those Sports Centers, no matter what other programming's going on.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, because everyone I know who works in a control room, at some point, there's like a moment where it switches and you're able to listen to everything around you all the time.
Yeah.
Has that happened?
Yes. Yes. I no choice. Like, ADs are like the biggest multitaskers ever. Like, I'll be doing one thing, be like, oh, okay, this is taking longer than I want to do. Let's try to do something else. And then I'll go back to what I'm doing. Or I'll start marking a rundown, and then I'll start telling somebody about a video, and then I'll just go back to doing whatever I was doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like all the time, you might be like checking in a talent, be like, hey, can you give me a 10 count? I want to test your mic. And somebody, like director will be rolling a video. You got to get a bar. And you're like, okay, they're like counting for you. Like, and you're listening to them. And you're like, okay, animate this bar. Okay, 20, 15, 10, 9, 8. And they're like, okay, you sound good, blah, blah. We're going to hand you over to the audio people, blah, blah, blah. Like, all the time. Yeah.
I've never understood how you all are capable
You
of
kind of just, like, your brain just kind of, like, isolates it. Because if not, it's just, like, mumble jumble, and you'll never get anything done, and then you'll just be confused, and then it's just a hot mess.
So when you go out, like, all right, say you're out at a restaurant with your friends now, do you find yourself having to, like, switch that off on the days that you're not asleep by 7 p.m.? Are you able to, like, switch that off, or you're like, I'm at a restaurant, I'm hearing this table's conversation, that table's conversation. I'm locked in with what everyone's got going on at my table, but...
Yeah, I know, right? I feel like it's like, I don't know. I think I subconsciously do it. Yeah, just like how like when I subconsciously like watch TV, like I rarely watch broadcast anymore because I know what's happening behind the scenes. So it's just like, oh, they put that graphic there. No, I don't know about that. Oh, they took that shot. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Oh, look at this graphic. Oh, I like the timing of this. Like,
are you catching mistakes live on here? Yes.
Yeah, it's so bad. Like,
it is. That's crazy.
What about is there anyone that you met at ESPN that you like wanted to meet?
Let me see. Not yet. Not yet. I did meet some cool people. Like I met like Cassie Hubbard. I met Seth Greenberg. He's super sweet. I met Andrea Carter that was just at the women's tournament. I met Elle Duncan. She's a firecracker. If you've ever met her in person, she is a firecracker.
Yes.
But yeah, there's just like some cool people. I would love to meet more people, obviously. But
Definitely.
yeah, I'm so early in the morning too. So many talent don't want to come in that early.
Sure.
But yeah, just like getting to know people in my department, because like I was like cyber stalking people, and like especially like women in my department before.
Yeah.
Like I know they had like Ashley Ward and things like that. Like I knew who she was before I even started.
Yeah.
Before, she did Women in Sports Media event last year. I knew who she was before that. Like,
Yeah.
And like somebody else that I work with all the time, we actually like tag team like SEAM.
Gotcha.
Like on days that I'm off, he does it, and days that he's off, I do it. And I knew who he was like 2 years ago because I saw like his work and like what he was doing, and it's just like it's kind of like almost like a surreal moment, but it's just like, oh, it's just Jordan. Like now it's just Jordan.
It's crazy how that happens, right? Like the people you go from like seeing these people, like looking up to them, and obviously you still look up to them, but it's like all of a sudden now we're coworkers. Like we have to like work together, and you can't be starstruck because it's like we got things to do.
We got things to do.
A show is a company as fast moving as ESPN. You don't have time to be sitting here like starstruck, looking up like, oh my god, you got to keep moving, right?
Yeah, like, just like train me. I'm gonna do it, and that's it. We're gonna work together, and that's it. Yeah.
It's crazy. I wanted to ask you. Let's go back to CT Sports now, and that being one of your first experiences. What were some of the jobs that you like look back on and you're like, this actually now has shaped and kind of changed the trajectory of my career?
Honestly, I would probably say all of them because all of them have helped me get to where I am today. Like knowing how all control rooms are different depending on the company that you work for, because of various reasons, like to projects they do, what type of contracts they have, whatever. But just knowing the basis of how an audio board works, what to look for, knowing like how TD is supposed to work, how knowing like producing is like, knowing what the graphics is like, just knowing something about it, even if it's completely different software, but just knowing like a sort of workflow of how it works can help you anywhere.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of people can be like out of touch with like, oh, just get it done, and like that's just like not a thing. Like there's a process people have to go through to get to pretty much any product that you see on ESPN or any company nowadays. Yeah. So like that just like helped me like knowing like, okay, they have to do this and to do that, they have to do that. Let me give them a minute. I can do something else in the meantime or whatever. Like just situations like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. We like to talk about also like some fun experiences you had at SHU. PG, I was gonna let you see.
What was the thing that we called it? I forgot. Something about. Remember you didn't the name and I.
No, the name was terrible. So I'm glad we don't remember.
It was good.
It wasn't.
It wasn't it.
No, it was like SHU Fun. I was like, this ain't it.
That's what it was. SHU Fun. Fun SHU. Fun SHU. That's
Fun
what it
SHU
was.
Fun SHU.
Yeah.
That sounds like something you do at a restaurant.
Yeah, no. So that's why.
Yeah.
So anyways,
not cool.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'll take it. And what was your favorite dorm to live in?
Yeah, what was the name of it's PG? Like the one
I got my own dorm?
I had my own. I had a single. It was beautiful.
Wait, where was it?
Was it PG?
See, we're older than you. We got different names for these.
So
Jake, what
it
is
was
it called,
like
Jake?
down the street. PG, Pioneer Gardens. Yeah, so I had a single. So yeah, so I lived. So my sophomore. Yes. Yeah.
Baseball team.
Yeah.
Wait, where does the baseball team?
The baseball team plays on the dorm?
It's what?
Yes, it's literally right behind there.
Wait.
Yeah.
Behind
the baseball team plays at the elementary school.
On campus?
No, it's like off campus. It's like a couple miles off campus. So
it's
like by the ridge? Because y'all call it the ridge.
Past the ridge. Past the ridge.
Yeah, I got my own dorm room with a baseball field in the back. It's lit.
Yo, you're wild.
Oh, so you live there?
No, his nickname is PG.
Oh.
He's just making us.
Yeah, I'm old.
But yeah, I
PG
loved it. I
was,
had
okay.
a single. It was beautiful. I lived with 3 other people.
Okay.
Did you live in North?
No, didn't. No.
Damn.
No. We lived
North is fire.
You live with like 7 other people?
12.
Oh, nah.
It was lit. It was a party every day.
Whoa. I'm glad you liked it.
I passed.
Jesus.
Barely.
I'm here.
Barely.
You lived toe.
All right, what about favorite dining hall?
Private dining hall. I liked Linda's.
Okay.
I didn't really.
What
like
did they have
Sushi
there now?
Louise.
What did they have? Because I know they have different stuff now.
I liked the breakfast sandwiches over there,
All right.
and I liked the buffalo chicken quesadilla.
All right. Speaking of food, please tell me you had like all the New Haven pizzas.
Not all of them. No.
Which ones did you have?
I've had like Pepe's.
Sally's?
And I've had Sally's.
Okay, which one did you like better?
I would say Pepe's.
Okay. I disagree, but okay.
Tell him to shut up.
So sorry.
No. I'm still like intrigued as to where Pioneer Gardens is. I'm like
with a baseball field in the back.
Yeah, like,
the baseball field.
Literally right next door to elementary school, and back in back of the elementary school is the baseball field that the baseball team plays.
Is that Taft? Is that like old Taft?
Maybe. No, Taft is there. Central.
No, Taft. That's
Taft
even farther. No, I live there too.
Oh wait, it's by it's on Madison.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Wait.
There's like Goodfellas there.
Yes.
And, like,
it's across the street from Oakwood.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, right there.
That used to be Eckerd.
Oh, gotcha. Imagine your soccer field was behind and we just were chilling in the...
Oh, yeah, it's like partially like Madison and Eckerd, like where they meet right there.
Yes.
Yeah, because like you can go like that or you can go like this way.
Yeah, okay, all right. I got it.
Yeah.
This is a generational thing. This is crazy. Like, we just really had a full generational moment at Cigar. Like,
what about, you had Professor Miller?
Yes, I did.
Give us a funny story.
He's putting you on the spot.
This is like his iconic moment. We never stopped talking about this. So there was like a time when there was like a major like miscommunication, and and then like he thought all like the groups were gonna come back at a certain time, and they thought they had like way longer because of miscommunication, and then they all came back, and he was just like, guys, what does the C in STM stand for? And they were like, communication, and he was like, exactly. Like that was like a running joke for the longest time. He probably doesn't remember saying that. Yeah. But like my friend Shannon and I, she was also GA. She'd be like Brandon, she'd be like, Lauren, what does the C in STM stand for? And I'll be like, confusion.
This is what he did today. I said, "Yeah, you got an Alienware computer?" I was like, "That's lit." He's like, "Yeah, it was for the esports thing, but I never used it."
Yeah.
That is an all-time.
Yo, it looks sick.
He's always getting the new. Always. Yeah.
That is an all-time story. Lauren, before we get out of here, I want to also touch on some serious points. Before the interview, we talked about obviously representation and I shouldn't say the lack. Well, let me choose my words correctly here. The limited number of black women who are doing what you do, especially at ESPN. Yes. It's the worldwide leader in sports. How important is it for you to be that representation for the next young black woman who wants to be an AD, who wants to even, maybe she wants to produce, maybe, whatever it may be. How important is that for you? Yeah,
100%. I make it like a job to connect with as many women as I can, like black women that I see like on campus at ESPN, especially in my department alone. Like, as I said, I'm the youngest AD in ESPN right now. And it's, as ADs, it's me and 3 other women. And 3 out of the 4 of us got hired in the last year.
Wow. So
it was literally just one AD that was a black woman for the longest time. And then I got hired in June, and then someone else got hired like in August, someone else got hired in December. And so it's the 4 of us. And when it comes to actual directors, 2 women.
Wow.
One woman that she came from Tennessee, and she directs First Take right now. Mm-hmm. And another woman actually is my manager. She's in Charlotte, and she does like more like events a lot of the time and things like that. Like she went to the women's tournament out in Cleveland and everything like that. But in all of ESPN, out of Bristol, LA, Charlotte, it's those 2 black women as directors and 4 ADs.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dope. I got one last question. So what advice would you give to people trying to, either trying to get a job or, try to make the next step towards their career?
Yeah, I would say definitely connect with as many people as possible. And meaningful connections and like follow through with those connections as well.
Follow-ups are key.
Yes, follow-ups are key. That was a big reason why I got the position that I'm in today, because when I first applied for it, I didn't get the role because they told me I was too young. I didn't have enough experience.
Wow.
And I didn't do anything differently from when I got the role.
Really?
I just kept my connections that I had. And then they just liked me, and they put in a good word for me, and yeah, now I'm the youngest one. That's the other thing. They said they kept telling me I was too young. And I'm like, well, I can't really change that,
Yeah.
But
intro jobs are like, 3 to 5 years experience.
Yeah.
And they're like entry level jobs.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
Exactly. But yeah, they wanted somebody to come in with like more experience, like maybe came in as a PA or something like that, because a lot of people do that. They'll come in as a PA. And I just didn't want to do that. I had my sights set on being an associate director, so I could become a director in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And so that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I'm doing. Because of those connections that I made, I kept to contact them once a month, just telling them what I was doing.
That's dope.
Where do you get your confidence from?
Where do I get my confidence from? Honestly, I don't know. Myself, I was not. If you ask anybody when I first started like CT Sports, I was not like this at all. I was quiet as a mouse, and that's something that I really had to learn. I would not reach out to people. I would not speak unless spoken to. Like, I was not going to be a voice in the room. But then I very quickly had to learn, if you do not, somebody's gonna run right over you. You will never get an opportunity. If you do not make an impression on people,
here they go.
Like, who's that girl? Whatever. Like,
right.
I don't even know anything about her. Next.
Yeah.
Like,
that's real.
That's just the reality of this business. So I had to learn. I learned very quickly that I need to reach out to people. I need to be more personable. I need to be a little bit louder. Like, I just need to do those things to be seen, to be heard, so people know that, like, I guess, like, at ESPN, they'd be like, oh, I'm here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like one of the directors, she'd be like, oh, let everybody know you're here. Like, basically, like, let everybody know that you're here and that that's what you want to do. And that's what they liked about me. Like one of the managers, the hiring manager for my department, and that's why he kept like, that's why he was like, hey, like apply for this role. Like we really want to get you in here, but even if it's not an AD, but ended up working out. But still.
That is dope. That's a major bar. Keep following up, people.
Yeah. Keep following me up. Yeah.
Well, listen, Lauryn, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. We want to let you go because you got to get to sleep.
Yeah.
So we appreciate you. It has been a pleasure. Hopefully we'll have you back on, maybe, sometime soon-ish. I don't know. PG's in charge of all that.
Yeah.
I'm messing around. But anyway, this has been another episode of What You Doing. We appreciate you. We'll see y'all next time.